Okay, W6WUH, after a hiatus of God knows how many months working on this thing on and off. Here we've got the HG10B VFO, and when I posted a video of this thing last time, I think I had ripped all of the small components and wiring out of this thing because it was all hashed up really badly. So now let's see if this thing will focus. Come on, focus. So, doesn't look like the light is the greatest here, and what I can do about it. But anyway, here we are. Everything's in here now except the voltage dropping resistor that goes supplies the voltage to the voltage regulator tube.
Hi, I'm Akita Turner.
So we went through quite a dog and pony show with this. There is not available online any decent manual for the HG10. There's only one PDF copy, and whoever did that in their infinite wisdom decided that all of the assembly and wiring pages were unimportant. And so a few of them were scanned original size and can be printed and used. But most of them, when they're blown up, look like this, barely legible. This looks better in the video than it actually is. When you get in there close, you realize you can't read any of it. It's just trash. And so what I had to do, and all of that, when they scanned those assembly pages, they did them sideways and very small and very low resolution. So I had to take it, write everything out step by step. And you know, where I had the usable pages, I used them, or where I didn't, I had to make pages and pages of stuff like this. Terminal strip A, lug 3, 5-inch wire, 2. The rear of whatever it is, you know. So, there you go, pages and pages of this stuff. Find the places, find the parts, install them, double check them, and of course then you got to double check against the schematic. And it turns out that Heathkit made an error in their assembly manual that never ever got corrected. And that has to do with one of these little RF chokes in here. There's two values. I forget what they are offhand. One is can't remember. One is something like 100 or 200 millihenries, and one is like 1 or 2 millihenries, and they've got them reversed in the instructions. And a lot of people have found that they couldn't get adequate drive on 80 meters that way, and if they swapped the two chokes around, then it would work. And I had another better choke that was that I was able to substitute, so I did do the swap and I used one of these new Hammond 2.5 millihenry chokes in here. So we're praying it'll work. I did not redo the thing mechanically. There's probably a little bit of error in the way the thing is set up, and the way the when you roll over the dial here. First of all, the pointer don't line up properly. It's supposed to be on 80, and you can see it's indicating between the two. It's supposed to be able to read what band you're on the bottom of the window and see the numbers. Now, by the time you get up to 2 meters, you really, well, I guess you sort of can. But it's, yeah, it'll work. So anyway, I have more work to do here. You can see that the slugs are all the way up here. So somebody was trying valiantly to get the thing to oscillate, but of course they made a fundamental wiring error in the oscillator, and it never was going to work. So that got corrected. And all the bad solder joints and cold joints and blob joints and everything else, all that was undone and done as well as I can do. So now I've got to get out the testing and calibration part of the manual at the end, which luckily is legible, and set the basic settings for the slugs, which is about, I don't know, it's 5/8, 7/8 of the shaft exposed. So somebody's run all these all the way out. So I'll do the rough settings. I'll take my variable power supply up here and cobble up a power connection to it, and it wants to see about 110 volts or so DC. So I'll just give it that, and I won't have to worry about calculating that resistor right now. And eventually we'll build up this little power supply for it and install whatever resistor is necessary to give it to just what it wants. But we'll try to test it on the bench that way and see if it actually will oscillate at all. And if it will, we'll try to get it aligned and calibrated and see if it'll be useful. So that's the story for now. If we'd had an original manual or a good copy in hand, it wouldn't have been nearly so hard. But I think we're going to get there. I think everything looks okay. We've checked and double checked the rewiring of it, and there shouldn't be any big problem unless I've got a faulty component in there. We've reused all the caps and all the resistors, so all it takes is one bad little mica or one bad little tubular cap and one bad ceramic, and the whole thing could be a puzzle. But we're gonna hope that it's gonna go.